Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports. Rainy day here today in Surrey, but the forecast for Huey Fury is quite bright. Huey Fury, previously with Hennessy Sports and has been faithful to Hennessy for God knows how long, has now finally made the decision to get promoted by Matchroom. From a promotional side of things, I think it's a great move. Uh, Huey Fury will get the opportunity to be seen by a much wider audience. Not that he wasn't getting seen by a wide audience on Channel 5, but he could certainly raise his profile. Um, as you know, Matchroom are closely associated with Sky Sports, so you'll see a lot more of Huey Fury on, Sky Sports news, and you know, more opportunity for him to sell his brand. But it's going to be down to Huey Fury. No matter how much they have him on Sky, he's going to have to sell himself with his personality. So, opportunity for Huey Fury to sell his brand as a personality, and then not just as a personality with his fights. He's got to put on devastating performances, or he's got to put on very good performances for people to keep paying interest in him, and people wanting to pay to see him fight. So, these things are so important for Huey Fury. I think so. That's so important. Those things are so important. Also, not only that, not only with Huey Fury, the other thing for us to think about and talk about as well, apart from Huey Fury, let me try and get this up a second. Listen, Huey Fury against Pricey is a good fight. I think it's a better fight. Hunter's a bad fight for Huey Fury. As much as he's flexible and he's able to move himself and do certain things, I'm not so sure. It's a bit raining. I'm not so sure how he does against Michael Hunter. I think Michael Hunter's got far too much movement for Huey Fury. I think he's got too much combination, too much of a mover, too skilled a boxer for Huey Fury. For me, Huey Fury's got a great jab, but I think he's upright, a bit too upright. I think his lateral movement, his ability to move much lighter than Huey Fury, and movement is going to cause Huey Fury problems. His most effective punch is his left jab, let's be honest. So I don't see how, I just don't see Hunt. I think Hunter's got that experience as well. I think he gives Huey Fury a lot of problems. I think he does. I think it's like, I don't know. Huey Fury might be more powerful, but I get fight times. I don't know. I don't see Huey Fury being a creative boxer. I think he does things well, but I don't see him as a creative fighter. I don't see him doing anything different from the norm. I think he does a lot of the same things most of the time. I see him doing the same things all the time. I think Hunter's too, and it's not going to be a great fight. Huey Fury will be missing with lots of big right hands. Hunter will be on the move, putting combinations, breaking down the body. He doesn't want to fight Hunter. A better fight would be him against Price, because Pricey will be looking to land that right hand, and he's gonna be feeling quite confident with himself. So that for me is going to be important. I think that's a better fight for Huey Fury. Actually, I'd like to see Huey Fury versus Dave Allen. To be quite honest with you, that's a better matchup for me. Him against Dave Allen, him against Nathan Gorman. Those are two fights I'd like to see Huey Fury in. I know Nathan Gorman's with Frank Warren, but those are fights I'd like to see him in, for sure. So that's what I'd be thinking. Also, I also think that fights, Huey Fury's got to put on good performances, regardless. He's got. You say he's going to stink out the joint, but in terms of business, we're not talking about stinks out joint. It's business. Dave Allen's got quite a good ticket selling, a ticket seller. So he'll bring the crowds in, and he'll be the one who'll do the talking. Huey Fury, good boxer. That's a good fight. I think it's a good fight because Allen's going to bring it, and Huey's going to have to back it up. So I think it's a good fight. I don't think it stinks the joint out. You've got to understand your boxing. Boxer versus puncher or boxer versus brawler, they always make for good fights because one's going to be testing the other person's will. They've sparred before, so they kind of know one another in that sense. So it will be interesting to see how a fight like that would go. I would make that matchup for the best for Hughie Fury, he's got to have somebody who's going to push him. He can't have guys that are going to just stand in front of him. Guys that stand in front of him are the best for him, but guys that actually push him and force him back are better. So that's the kind of way I'm seeing it. So there's that. Moving on. Isaac Dogber has now signed with Freddie Roach. I don't know why. Management teams decide to sign their fighter who's not very good defensively with Freddie Roach. I ask the question, are celebrity trainers ruining our fighters? Is a potentially good fighter or potentially great fighter being ruined because he's going to a trainer who's a celebrity rather than going with a lesser known trainer who's going to give you more of an all-round experience as a trainer? Freddie Roach is known for attack. Freddie Roach is best known for training Pacquiao, all right? So people will say, oh, he's trained Pacquiao. Pacquiao's got great speed, he's got great movement, and he's got lateral movement. Pacquiao still makes a lot of mistakes. Pacquiao makes a lot of mistakes. So Pacquiao, you're going to turn around and say that he's been training for a long time. Again, you're a person, Ruben Guerrero, that you have to see your fighter get hurt, knocked out, brutally knocked out for you to understand anything. So I'm not going to talk with you. For the huge majority of you who understand boxing will understand that Freddie Roach is an attack trainer. So if you go to Freddie Roach, you are actually signing a contract to get yourself knocked out. Freddie Roach is a guy who's going to push the agenda and he's going to make you fight and fight and fight and fight and fight. Fight and fight and fight. Push forward and push forward and push forward. He's the reason why Manny Pacquiao got knocked out. Nobody talks about that. He's the reason why Amir Khan got knocked out. Nobody talks about that. He's the reason why Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. got knocked out. The same reason. He's the same reason why if Scott Quick continues, he'll get knocked out too. But nobody will talk about that. Because people say Freddie Roach, but they don't watch a guy's track record and they allow him to get away with nonsense. Freddie Roach is not a very good technical trainer when it comes to defensive training or strategic training. He never worked out Marquez in 4 fights. In 4 fights, he never worked at Marquez, and it was his fault that Manny Pacquiao got knocked out by Marquez because he kept saying, we're going for the knockout, we're going for the knockout. Until him telling Pacquiao to hold it, just box. You got Marquez in the bag, you've dropped him, you've got him in the bag, you got him hurt. No, let's go for the knockout, let's press for the knockout, get knocked out. This is Freddie Roach for you. This is the Freddie Roach way of training. And anybody outside of those who are mesmerised by the name will understand exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to boxing. So I'm talking to the people who actually know their boxing as opposed to people who just want to say names. So you know what I'm talking about. So for me, Isaac Dogber is a fighter who's been knocked out or who's been beaten up in 2 fights. The first fight he went in there against the guy fine. The second fight, I was in front of Bob Arum before the fight was even announced. Bob Arum told me he's going to fight Dogber's going to fight the guy again, and I knew Dogber was going to get himself knocked out. Right? So you got a guy now in Dogber who's on a comeback with a guy like Freddie Roach. What Dogber needs is a trainer that is going to be able to teach him how to defend, use his head. He's a short fighter, right? And if he comes against tall fighters again, that's going to happen. Same thing's going to happen again. So it's not about him using his power, Dogber. It's about him using all the attributes he can, short fighter. So things like a cross-arm defense, potentially. Cross-arm defense, walking the fighter down and using those attributes. Those are the things that Dogber Shiri needs to be working at. And working out as a fighter, working how to move his head off the line, right? So he doesn't get his head jabbed off. The reasons why he got knocked out, those are the things he's going to work on. Can Freddie Roach give him that? I don't think so. Yes, bro, how we doing? I just don't think Freddie Roach gives him that. James Toney was one of the most defensive fighters in the world. So James Toney is one of the best defensive fighters in the world. Okay, that's fine. But if I'm right, Freddie Roach didn't start training James Toney. I think it was... It might have been Eddie Futch that was training James Toney, not Freddie Roach. I'm sure it was Eddie Futch, not Freddie Roach, whom he learnt his stuff off. So get your facts straight. Yes, Malky. So at the end of the day, for me, Dogby training and joining Freddie Roach is a bad move. He needs to be with a trainer that's going to work with him and work on all aspects of his game. Attack is not Dogber's problem. We saw that in his fight. Dogber, that's what he's going to be in a professional camp now. No disrespect to what he had before. He'll have a professional setup, yes. But he's not Manny Pacquiao. So the only thing they've got similar is the weight divisions. But that's it. Good morning, Reverend. So I don't think it's a good move. I think it's a terrible move. And I just think that with these celebrity trainers, if you're lacking attack, if you're a defensive fighter and you need attack, Freddie Roach is good for you. That's where it works. But not when you need to work on your defense, and Dogba needs to work on his defense. You know, he needs to work on his defense. It's not his stamina, that's not the problem. His defense, his counter-punching ability. He's able to slip, move, and throw punches and counter. So he's good off the back foot, good off the front foot. That's what I'd like to see from Isaac Dogba. We're not going to see that with Freddie Roach, because Freddie Roach cannot teach counter-punching boxing. If he could, that way, then Pacquiao would not struggle against Marquez the way he did. And he would have got knocked out by Marquez the way he did. So, Buddy B. Gertz, good trainer. Good trainer. Ronnie Shields is another good trainer. But there are other trainers in the world, less recognised, you know, that I think Dogba could have gone with. You know? So certain fighters go well with certain trainers. But from what I'm seeing here, it just looks to me that we're losing great fighters, potentially great fighters, who are matched with poor trainers or trainers that don't suit their style. So we're cutting out their greatness so they only become average fighters. So this era of trainers, this era of fighters, they've got less trainers, less mentors in boxing, just guys who can hold pads. And so what you have there is the standard of boxing goes down. So you're not going to have what you had of yesteryear, the Hagler, Hearns, Nally. You're not going to get that as much anymore. Fighters are not as talented, and that means fighters won't be able to fight on the inside. You're going to have less fight can't fight with a cross-arm defense. The guy that fought Charlo the other day, the middleweight Charlo, and I think it's Adams, very talented fighter, very, very talented. But people won't see that. A lot of people won't see that. Those old school people will appreciate Adams. I think Adams going to be a good chin, good defense, fights off the front foot well, fights off the back foot, counter punches well, good all-round fighter. Adams, give him some time, he'll be a world champion. So when I look at Isaac Dogba in this situation, just typical, you lose a fight, you run to Freddie Roach, or you run to Virgil Hunter. But what have these guys done for fighters outside? What adaptment, what changes did Freddie Roach do to the silver medalist, Amir Khan? Roach is a dope trainer. Dogba, along with his height and reach, I don't think will help at elite level. That's what I'm saying. Freddie Roach is a dope trainer. So, okay, how many fighters has Freddie Roach trained himself? I'm not talking about imported from other trainers who've done all the hard work and slog with him. How many fighters has Freddie Roach trained from the start? This is the question I'm asking you. And you'll find with a lot of these celebrity trainers, a lot of their name is made off of other fighters that will train has come from other gyms and landed with them because they've had a fallout. That's what I notice, and that's what I'm seeing. So, you know, but that's my opinion. And, you know, like I said, I'm tired of talking. I'm tired of saying these things over and over again. Boxing all the time. Same thing's happening. And the sport is getting weaker and weaker. It's not getting stronger and stronger because the standard of boxing is not getting any better. Here we go. Freddie. So Freddie Roach tops up fighters. How does he top up fighters? What was the top up he did to Khan? What did he do for Amir Khan? Khan still got a terrible defense, right? So you tell me what he did for Khan. How did he improve Amir Khan? How did he improve Amir Khan? I don't get it. What did he do for Amir Khan? What improvements did he make for Amir Khan? What defensively did he do for Amir Khan? So this is what I'm talking about. These are the things that I look at and I see. Khan is untrainable. He's gone to how many trainers now? Don't make excuses, mate. Don't make excuses. Do not make excuses. Khan's not the only one. So, okay, tell me what Freddie Roach, apart from Manny Pacquiao, what has Freddie Roach done with any other top fighters? Tell me. Where they've had long runs of being world champion. Talk to me. Well, you know, but listen, it's no point me trying to convince you, because you guys, people like you, Ruben, won't open your mind up. People like you are the reason why the sport stagnates or won't go forward, because we've got these ideas that, oh, he's a celebrity trainer. He's trained Manny Pacquiao. He's trained a few other fighters. Well, he's actually just worked on them. He's worked with them, but they end up getting knocked out anyway. I'm not a fan of Freddie Pockets or celebrity trainers. Yeah, people that know, look at a fighter, look at a trainer's CV. Stop looking at highlights and actually do the research of these trainers. Listen to what they're saying in the corners. Do your research. Don't just talk from emotion. Talk from fact. And the fact of the matter is, Freddie Roach doesn't match up. He doesn't. He doesn't. He's worked with Pacquiao how many years? Right? So I just look, another fight, another trainer, Virgil Hunter. Virgil Hunter's been known because of Andre Ward. What has he done outside of Andre Ward? Talk to me. The majority of his fighters majority of the fighters that go to Virgil Hunter are guys who've just been knocked out or got beat up or their careers are coming to an end and he's trying to revitalise them. In my opinion, who do I consider a good trainer? Okay. Good trainer. Stacey McKinley trained over 35 world champions. Must be something right there. Okay, so I look at a guy like Stacey McKinley, who's worked with a various amount of fighters, taking Samuel Peter to become heavyweight champion of the world. He's now going to take Trevor Brighton to become heavyweight champion of the world. Trained Mike Tyson for 10 years. Worked with Alexander Povetkin. All right, we could go on. Tony Tucker. Seems unfair. Listen, I don't give a crap. If you don't like what I've got to say, Ruben, unsubscribe and leave the channel, man. I'm not here to suit your way of thinking, all right? If you don't like it, unsubscribe and don't come on the channel again, mate. People like you make me sick. Just get off my channel. So it's not about being overly critical. It's being responsible and realistic, right? It's being responsible and realistic. What has Freddie Roach done for Scott Quigg? What has Freddie Roach done for Scott Quigg? Apart from allowing him to go in and get beat up, what has he done for Scott Quigg? This is the stuff. You want to hear the stuff that the commentators tell you. Go do your research. Look at Freddie Roach's record. How many fighters has he taken from scratch and taken on to being world champion? How many fighters has he done that with? How many fighters have been imported from other gyms to Freddie Roach? So I don't want to hear no more about Freddie Roach, man. Listen, this is my opinion. You don't like it, go elsewhere. Hit the dislike button. I don't give a damn. I'm just telling you as it is. So there are very few people in the world like myself now that are telling you as it is. They're just going to tell you stuff that's just going to be regurgitated. I'm not regurgitating crap, right? So what was his success with those fighters, though, bro? Because Freddie had a lot of success with fighters. What version of Tyson did Stacey train? He's trained him for 10 years before Freddie Roach got a hold of him. 10 years, Mike Tyson. The same Mike Tyson that was fighting before he went to prison. The same Mike Tyson that came out and fought against Evander Holyfield. That Mike Tyson. Before he went to prison. That Mike Tyson. Okay? So, McKinley's been around for donkey's years. Alright? There's so many good trainers out there in the world that you don't hear about. And we need to give those trainers more of a chance. But no, that won't happen because, you know, they're attached to certain... You know how it goes. Top rank or top rank will go to use certain trainers. It's like Matchroom to go use certain trainers. But it's rather lazy to sit back and say, well, who else do I think is a good trainer, right? Go do your research, right? As I said, I'm done with this stuff. I'm just waiting till the end of the month. Yeah, he was around that time as well. Do you rate any UK trainers? Yes, I do rate UK trainers. I rate Mark Tibbs. I rate Mark Tibbs highly. If you look at where Dillian Whyte started his career and how he was as a fighter and how he's evolved as a fighter, I think Mark Tibbs is a very good trainer. I think that the trainer, what's his name's trainer? Warrington's trainer, his father, is a good trainer. Because you see how he's able to adapt and fight different styles. So I like Warrington's trainer. I like, those are two trainers I like. Well, I rate very highly. Mark Tibbs, I rate him very highly. Peter Fury, I rate very highly as a trainer in the UK. Those are three trainers I rate very highly. And there are other trainers around I rate quite highly as well. But they don't get the rub of the green. Some of these trainers don't get the rub of the green. I'd like to see Don Charles working with fighters that are, no disrespect, that are not area level fighters. I'd like to see him, because he's done well. He did well with Chisora. He took Chisora to European champion. He took Chisora to being one of the top fighters in the world. You know what I mean? And Chisora's not that talented a fighter. And he did well with Derek Chisora. So let me see Don Charles with not the worst of the fighters or the reject fighters. Let me see Don Charles working with some top quality fighters and see what he does with them. Not the fighters that Matchroom don't want or the fighters that Frank Warren don't want. Let me see Don Charles working with some top trainers, top fighters. Booth is one of the best trainers in the UK at the moment. Why is he one of the best trainers? Because he trained David Haye. Have you listened to Booth in the Corner? Have you watched Adam Booth? What was his game plan when? What did he tell to Ray? What did he say to that boy who fought Ray Robinson the other day? What did he do for Josh Kelly when he was in the corner? Where was the game plan? What was the adaptability? Where was the changing? He got his ass beat from round 1 to round 12 by Ray Robinson. Don't talk rubbish to me, boy. Don't talk rubbish to me, son. Look at things as they are, not things as you'd like them. Where was the great game plan from Adam Booth when David Haye fought Vladimir Klitschko? That was his biggest fight of his career. Don't talk rubbish to me, son. Where was the game plan when Mike Perez fought Bright Jennings and he was behind on points and Adam Booth turned around and said to him, cool, chill down, relax. Where was the game plan for Andy, what's his name? Andy Lee when he fought Billy Joe Saunders? He's trying to outbox the boxer, but Andy Lee's the puncher. Talk to me about that. He knows that Saunders at that time was lacking stamina. Why did he let Andy Lee sit on the back foot and try and box a better boxer than himself instead of taking the fight to him? Don't talk to me about Adam Booth. Don't talk to me about Adam Booth. I'm just telling you and how I see it, right? You don't like it, fine, but go do the research. Don't just say something because Sky Sports say it. Don't just say it because it sounds good or it looks good. Examine it. Examine it. That's all I say, examine it. Do your research before you come and start saying to me, he's a top trainer. What makes him a top trainer? Because he's in the limelight. What makes him a top trainer? Because he's got access to better fighters. What makes him a top trainer? A top trainer for me is what you say in your corner to inspire your fighter to turn things around. A top trainer is, you know, what can you do? What can you add to your fighter? What game plans can you bring in to neutralise another fighter? What can you do when things are not going right with your fighter? How can you change things in mid-course? That's a good trainer. We've seen that with Mark Tibbs because we've seen Dillian Whyte fight various different types of styles. So, Booth took Haye from unified cruiserweight champion and took him to heavyweight champion. Okay, let's see the people he beat to be champion. He beat Mormek, fine, right? Then he knocked out McCranelli, who didn't have a great chin anyway. So let's move up to heavyweight. He got dropped by Monty Barrett. Who did he beat for the world title? Valuev. But if I was right in thinking, wasn't it Holyfield that beat Valuev much more convincingly? A 40-plus-year-old Evander Holyfield, a shot Evander Holyfield beat Valuev far more convincingly than David Haye did. Holyfield stood in the pocket with Valuev and was more convincing. Haye ran around the 12 rounds. Don't talk to me crap, man. Don't talk crap to me. Do not talk crap to me about game plans. Don't talk crap to me. Don't talk crap to me. Please. Anyway, like I said, end of this month I'll be at the end of these boxing videos because it's just annoying and I want to take my vibration to another place. So, anyway, it is what it is. Congratulations to Hughie Fury, and as far as Dogba, God bless you. I'm out.